Hi there everyone, my name's Rebecca. Welcome to my channel Sewing an Imperfect Life. If you are new here, I am here talking to you from Blue Mountains, just out of Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. If you've been here before, I'm so glad you're back to talk about fabric, patterns, creativity, styling, all those sorts of things. I'm talking to you today about my latest make, which is the top that I'm wearing. I just finished it this afternoon. This is called the Finch top or the Finch blouse, and it is a pattern from Charlie Darwin Textiles. The Finch top is a dolman style quarter button blouse featuring a gathered bust seam with several sleeve and collar variations. I will pop up pictures of some of the variations because there are quite a few and they can make the top look totally different. So there is a short sleeve, which is the one I'm wearing, and I'll put pictures in of my makes later on. There's a 3/4 sleeve, a long sleeve, a ruffle sleeve, a double ruffle sleeve, and a bishop sleeve. Loads of options for the sleeve. I have chosen a I'm not sure what they called this, just a collar band, and I've put a little ruffle on the top. But there's also a traditional collar with the points, as well as a Peter Pan collar option. I am loving wearing it today. I'm already looking at styling it in some different ways to wear to work because it's very comfortable and I feel really good in it. I've made it up with a vintage fabric from the Sewing Basket, which here in New South Wales there are a few Sewing Basket outlets, which is a kind of like an op shop for all things sewing with it. I'd say this is a seersucker, mostly cotton, and probably a little bit of polyester in there as well. Okay, so it's got a little bit of texture, but also a little bit of crispness and a little bit of drape. So it actually feels quite nice. The top itself is quite flowy and generous. I really like the way it falls. What else can I tell you about it? I thought the instructions were fabulous. There are pictures all along the way to help you out, as well as really good instructions. I did have a little bit of trouble with the collar. It is a little bit thick with the ruffle in it, but what happened was the collar did actually came quite a bit short of the being in line with the top of the neckband. And I'd not have that happen before with other collars that I put on. So I am going to make this again, and I'm going to extend the collar by 3 centimeters. There was that much of a difference. It wasn't just stretching out the neckline. That wasn't it. It was quite a bit shorter, significantly shorter. Putting the ruffle in was not tricky. That is also in the instructions. I might play around with the neckline next time, but I do also really like this option of doing the buttons up because I do like a high neck, but also I think it looks quite nice being open as well. So it probably would only take me 2 or 3 hours next time I make it. There are lots of really cool shortcuts that this pattern maker does. For example, with the placket here, it's not a separate piece. It's just a really long piece of the top, and you fold and fold again, and I like that. For me, it just makes it a little bit more accurate because I'm not putting together extra pieces. The sleeve is not an extra piece, the dolman sleeve, and I've just chosen to do the short sleeve, so again it's a fold and a fold again. A couple of things I really enjoy about this pattern maker. Little shortcuts that work for me. For example, before you sew all the way down here, you iron in your hem once and down the bottom as well. So then when you do your your seam here, it grabs that little bit of ironed under fabric, and then you do it again, and I've done a double line across. What else does she do that I really like? I think I already said about the extra pieces, which means, sorry, the extra length, so it means you just have to fold. I also have been doing my hems a little bit differently. I have been getting the tape measure and marking the length on the wrong side of the fabric, and then I'll fold it and iron. I find that a lot easier than either eyeballing it and getting it crooked, or measure iron, measure iron, measure iron. So if it says to turn it up 2 centimeters, I will measure from the edge 4 centimeters, and that way when I go to turn, I am putting the edge of the material up to that 4 centimeter mark, which makes the 2 centimeter hem. And I'm finding that a lot more accurate for me at the moment to do my hems that way. Okay, well, I am going to pop in photos of me having a little bit of fun styling it with the buttons done up, the buttons undone, with a couple of different items I already had in my wardrobe, all of them blue. I'm kind of into a bit of blue, red and white at the moment. So there's some jeans, there's some trousers, there's a skirt and a little pinafore. I hope you liked my little styling mix up there. I am planning to have another go at this top and put it into a matching set of a dark blue linen, so it will look a little bit jumpsuity but also have the options of mixing and matching. And again, I'm looking at that kind of like small capsule wardrobe of the red, white and blue at the moment with the dark blue linen. The small capsule wardrobe was an idea from Katrina at Create Something Pretty and Catherine from New Zealander. It's gone from me. I'll put the links below to both their YouTube channels. Anyway, they've been having a lovely little discussion about, you know, if you can't get your head around a whole capsule wardrobe, just make 2 or 3 items that match. And you'll feel really good about wearing them, about matching them, and get a lot of use out of out of them, and I thought, yep, that's what I'm going to do. 2 or 3 things that go together and I can mix and match, and then I'm sure it will grow from there. So that's the aim, starting with this top. I think it will go with my navy linen trousers that I plan to make, and then the remake of this in the navy linen will also go with the trousers, and I'll just see how I go from there. So that is the Finch top from Charlie Darwin Textiles. I'm really pleased with it, as you could see from my very happy disposition. I hope you've been creating something that brings you joy lately and you're enjoying what you're wearing. Hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Give me a little howdy if you feel like it. I do love to hear from you all. Thank you so much to the people who are consistent subscribers and watchers, and especially the people who reach out and make comments. It is really encouraging. So thanks a lot. I really like hearing from you. Okay, until next time, bye for now.